Chaos among liberals. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. In just a few moments, we will show you some nasty business. Liberals attacking liberals, trying to assign blame for the debacle in Massachusetts Tuesday night. Basically, it comes down to this. The far left believes President Obama is not radical enough. The moderate left believes the far left loons are killing the Democratic Party. No matter what you believe, there's no question the election of Scott Brown in Massachusetts has badly damaged the Democratic agenda, especially Obamacare.
In its present form, without any change, I don't think it's possible to pass the Senate bill in the House. I don't see the votes for it at this time.
Indeed. Now, for conservatives, this is all great fun, watching the left descend into turmoil. Today, the New York Times published an editorial about the Bay State election that is simply hard to believe. Quote, "To our minds, it is not remotely a verdict on Mr. Obama's presidency, nor does it amount to a national referendum on health care reform." Unquote. Well, our latest Rasmussen poll on the subject says just 38% of likely voters now favor Obamacare. Memo to the editor of the Times. Do the words tone deaf mean anything to you? No referendums needed. Healthcare is dead in its present form. Also, Mr. Obama's entire presidency has been damaged. I mean, some Democrats believe the president's trip to Massachusetts actually hurt Martha Coakley. And the Times is telling us it's not a verdict on Mr. Obama's presidency? Are you kidding me? All of this tells Talking Points the left has not learned anything from the elections in Virginia, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. Somehow, uber liberals believe that regular folks think the way they do, that massive government spending is terrific, that a nanny state can solve all problems. I mean, how out of touch are these left-wing people? The crazy left media outlets are all in desperate shape, and the mood of the country has shifted dramatically to the right. In the face of all that, the committed left continues to blame everything on the Bush administration, conservative radio commentators, and Fox News. Paging Rod Serling, the Twilight Zone is back. Talking Points embraces political analysis, not ideological nonsense. We do not drink anyone's Kool-Aid here, and it's obvious the American people don't like what they're seeing in Washington right now, and they are rejecting the left-wing media as well. President Obama should take note. We predicted all hell would break loose if the Republican won in Massachusetts, and that prediction is coming true. And that's enough. Now for the top story tonight. To prove my point, I'm going to the videotape. Fasten your seatbelts.
But you say the voters are irrational. They somehow send smoke signals in their voting. They vote for a conservative Republican who's totally against health care to tell the country they want a progressive health care program. That's crazy.
We know what they did.
Are voters crazy?
We actually
are voters crazy?
Chris, there's only one crazy person around here, and I may hold up a mirror, and you may see him in a minute here. Don't be silly.
And in trying to accommodate guys like Joe Lieberman and Ben Nelson and Evan Bayh, they came up with watered-down Republican-like policies that were, frankly, less effective. Hello, smaller stimulus just for the sake of being smaller. Remember that?
They had a choice between the public option candidate and kill it, and they voted to kill it. So how do you explain
these voters were sending a message to Washington. They asked for change.
But she said, I want to give you the public option.
We've had a year of dealing with every interest group, the banks,
you're
the
whistling
insurance
past
companies.
the graveyard here.
I don't think
she
so.
ran for the public option.
Our polling shows what it shows.
But she's for the public option. She got blown away.
It's been a great disappointment to a lot of people. I would just argue that the hype on Obama was entirely unrealistic. I mean, in some ways, people projected onto Obama a kind of messianic, he's going to come in and change the world. It was almost new age. And as a matter of fact, I mean, when Obama was running, I never did drink that Kool-Aid.
Suppose Coakley had won. You would have said that was a victory for progressive Democrats, wouldn't it?
No, I would have
said if she won.
said, thank God the right person won.
In other words, if she wins, that's a victory for your side. If she loses, that's a victory for your side.
No, I don't think it's a victory
you
for our side.
You said that your side won because the polling showed that people
Chris,
really
I haven't hardly said anything. You used up all the airtime in this interview.
You crazy sons of bitches, you right-wingers. Do you not understand that the people you hold up as heroes bombed your country? Do you not understand that Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly are as complicit of the September 11th, 2001 terror attack as any one of those dumbass 15 that came from Saudi Arabia? Don't you get that?
So if you're Scott Brown and he's listening to this program, he's learning from you that what he really ought to do is back a public option, because people, when they voted for him, were really secretly for the progressive position, not for him. His position. Are you saying that's what he should read the
I say
voters
you're
as
being
saying?
silly, and you know very
No.
well they're not saying that. It's
It
not
would be in his
that.
political self-interest to vote for the public option, you're saying.
What I think we ought to do is
Wouldn't it
look
be?
forward from this election.
No, but you
Chris.
said the polling showed people for the
Chris,
public
I
option.
said what I said. This is silly. We're not getting it.
No, you're being silly.
You want to look forward.
You're
you want to
saying
look
that no matter who
backwards.
wins an election, your argument wins.
I saw Senator Brown say he wants to play basketball with the president. First thing I thought of is, yeah, good. And let's see if the president can throw him an elbow under the hoop.
And you think I interrupt? So what does that spectacle tell us? Well, here's one thing. There's no liberal message anymore. With the folks rejecting big government and the soft treatment of terrorists, there's nowhere for the far left to go. When Senator McCain lost to Barack Obama, you didn't see a lot of right-wing hand-to-hand combat. There was some bitterness, but conservatives did not generally turn on each other, with the exception of some crazy radio guys who make their livings in the gutter. So all in all, it's now midnight at the Oasis for the left. They have no message, they have no plan. While the right was crushed in November 2008, conservatives are now having some revenge. We'll see how that plays out. Next on the rundown, two